Hello and welcome to the podcast. I'm Kim. This is Kim's Wellness Space, and you are very, very welcome, whether you are brand new here or whether you are someone that has listened before and come back. Thank you. So this week I've got my little post-it note. If you're on YouTube, I'm just waving a post-it note at the moment. Because this week I made some notes, and then so on my post-it note it says mindset. Believe it works, trust the process. So that's kind of like the bone. What's the what? Oh, I don't. Oh, this is going to be an interesting. Words aren't working today. I'm just going to keep going. That's the subject that I'm discussing today. But I was just sitting here staring out the window before I started, thinking, what am I going to say about this? Because I know what I mean in those three sentences. But to say to you, well, wellness is a state of mind, you have to believe it works, and you have to trust the process. It sounds a bit, maybe it sounds a bit simplistic. Maybe it sounds a bit cliche. Maybe it's just, you've probably heard those words and you're thinking, oh, yeah, it's just another, oh, I've got to change my mindset, need to believe in myself, trust the process. It's a bit wishy-washy, isn't it? I was thinking, oh, I don't really know what I'm going to say. And then as I was sitting here, I was just staring out the window. And on my windowsill at the moment, I have got one, two, three. I have got 4 plant pots with cuttings in them. And as I was staring out the window, a sparrow landed and was just eating one of my cuttings. And I was just watching it thinking, oh, that's interesting. No wonder they don't do very well there because the birds are eating them. And then I was thinking, actually, that's a really good example of what I've got on my post-it note. Because when I love gardening, I love plants, I love flowers. My house is always full of plants. It's always full of cut roses. The garden is always blooming. I get really excited when there's fruit on the fruit tree or blossoms on the fruit tree. Like I'm nurturing my avocado tree at the moment that's been in the ground. This is its 2nd year in my ground. It's its 4th year kind of as a producing tree. It should have fruit on it this year, and I believe wholeheartedly it's going to have fruit. I go out there every day and I talk to it and I tell it it's lovely and it's going to produce amazing fruit and we're all going to be joyful. And so watching that sparrow sitting eating my cuttings kind of got me thinking, because I was like, well, when I cut those cuttings and put them in the pots, and when I do my seedlings and I get all my trays ready and I get my seeds out and I decide what I'm going to grow and I plant them with the knowledge that everything I've just done is exactly right. I'm putting them in the right environment for them, and I just know they're going to grow. I believe wholeheartedly that from these seeds, from these cuttings, I'm going to produce flowers and fruit, and it's going to be amazing. Now, of course, the reality of that is, well, as with the cuttings that I'm looking at the moment, like the sparrows have eaten a couple didn't take, but one is okay. And it's the same with seeds. Out of that whole packet of seeds that I put in the seed tray and that I water lovingly and I tend and make sure they're okay, they're not all going to grow. But when I do it, I don't plant them thinking, well, I'm going to put these seeds in this compost, but I don't know what I'm doing it for because there's no way it's going to work. I'm never going to get any plants. Like, if I thought like that, I really wouldn't bother doing it, would I? Because what would be the point? It'd be a complete waste of my time. And so that, I think, kind of is a really good example of how our mindset can work for us. Because when I plant those seeds, I actually have no idea if they're going to grow or how many are going to grow. But I believe in the process. I've practiced that process. I've done it for years now. I save my tomato seeds out of my tomatoes and I dry them carefully on a paper towel. And then I collect them all up and I put them in a little envelope and I say what they are. And then In the spring, I take them out, I plant them, I cover them over with like a polythene so that it's like a little mini greenhouse, and I watch them come up. And that is the process. And I repeat it over and over again because I've got proof that if I follow that process step by step at exactly the right time, doing exactly what those tomato seeds need, I have proof that I will get tomato plants. And if I look after those tomato plants, I have proof that tomatoes will grow and that I can then enjoy them and I can eat them and I can share them with my friends. So my mindset is positive. My mindset knows that this is going to work. I trust that process. I follow that process and I reap the rewards at the end. And if you're still listening with me and you haven't turned this off because you're thinking, oh God, she's on one this morning. Now I turned on for wellness and she's talking about tomatoes and seeds. It's a really good example of what we need to do with our wellness. With our mindset in wellness, we need to know that what we're doing will work. We need to know that all the effort that we put in is absolutely going to have the results that we are wanting to achieve. And how do we know that? Because we have a process that we can follow. And when we follow that process, we get results. And those results are the proof that that process works. And so then we can just keep going. We don't need to change it. We don't need to do anything super fantastic. We don't need to, go out and buy strange tea or coffee or take pills that aren't meant to be taken or potions, or we don't need to swap our food for some highly chemical shake. What we do need is to know that there are some basic fundamental things that we can do and we can repeat doing them. That's our process. And then we get results. That's our proof that that process works. And that makes our mindset say, yep, I know this works. I'm going to keep going. I'm just going to do it because I absolutely know it works. And when you say it like that, it's like, oh yeah, that's quite easy, isn't it? Why don't I do that? And I can tell you why we don't do that. We don't do that because the world that we live in is just like a massive marketing bubble of people trying to make money with quick fixes. We are so used to saying, this is my problem. I need it solved today. How am I going to get it solved? And actually, with our health and with our wellness, we don't want quick. We want processes for life that give us the results that we want. And we know that they work. We know that if we follow this, we can do it. And actually, if you've been here for any time at all, you'll know the process, you'll know the steps because, and I am going to repeat them just in case you haven't been here before and you haven't heard me talking about this. The process that we follow is getting a really good night's sleep, waking up with the sunshine, getting that sunshine on our face, drinking water, making sure that our bodies are hydrated, moving our bodies every single day in ways that we love, eating really great, nutritious food, and practicing every day to be consistent. Not looking for perfection, not looking for the I'm going to lose a stone in a week. None of that. Practicing those fundamental steps that we know work when we stick to them, being consistent because we're practicing and not looking for perfection, celebrating every single win so that we live this life of health and wellness and vitality and energy. Honestly, if I could work with every single one of you and give you my enthusiasm and my knowledge so that you could live a life of wellness and feel amazing, I 100% would do it. I mean, I don't think there's enough time in the day for me to work with everybody, which is why I do podcasts and write books and do things on YouTube and share on Instagram, because I want to keep trying to share this information as much as I can. But none of these things are easy. if you're looking to be perfect. But they definitely are easy if you're just practicing the process. You know, this week, my step goal, I had upped it. And out of the 7 days, I achieved that step goal on 5 of the days. The other 2 days, I didn't. But also this week, I've done 2 workouts. I've swam. I've done yoga. I have spent time with my friends. I have laughed. I've been outside in nature. I've done all the things so that I'm just practicing the process. So it doesn't matter that 2 of the days my watch didn't go, ta-da, you've done your step goal. It doesn't matter because I'm practicing. I still got steps in. I still moved my body. I still practiced all of the things that I know make me feel amazing. And I am still able to wake up in the morning when the sun comes up and think, yes, I have got another day. I'm full of energy. I can jump out of bed. I'm full of beans. How am I going to feel my life today? That's exciting. That's really exciting. I want everyone to feel like that. I had a conversation with my friend this morning, and she was like, she's just had an injury to her leg, and she's now recovered. It's okay. And she was saying, I really want to get into this particular type of yoga that she has been researching. I don't know where that came from, but she was just like, this is the type of yoga I'm interested in. What are your thoughts? Can I do it? And I was like, do you know what? Of course you can do it. Like, we can all do whatever we want. If that is the yoga that you think that will make you happy and that will help you, well, it's going to. Absolutely. Why? Because it's something you love and you're moving your body. And we know, and if you don't practice yoga and you don't know, I'm going to tell you anyway, but we know in this yoga world, us yoga teachers and people that practice yoga, that yoga isn't about what type of yoga you're doing or what shape you're getting yourself into. Yoga is the fact that you are taking time out of your day to roll out a mat, to get on that mat and to spend some time with yourself, whether it's breathing, meditation, whether you're doing whatever type of yoga you're doing. It doesn't matter whether it's fast, slow, still, acrobatic, hanging from there. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you've taken some time and you're moving your body and you're going gently, because we don't want you to hurt yourself, and you're remembering that your practice is your own. But of course she can do it. Of course it's going to make her feel better, because currently she's not moving her body at all. She's doing nothing. She's sitting working, and then she's coming home and sitting in the evening. So definitely her body's going to be like, thank you very much. Of course, if she decides, I'm starting on Monday and I'm going to do it every single day for an hour and I'm not going to have any rest and I'm not going to break for any resting moments and I'm going to make sure that I am doing exactly what the man on the video is doing, well, she might come unstuck and she might stop, because that's too much pressure and that's too much looking for perfection. Because actually, if you haven't done any movement, you don't want to start with an hour. You want to start with 5 minutes or 10 minutes. You need to be going gently and building that. That's why it's a practice, because we start small and then we do a little bit more and we do a little bit more and we practice. So I'm really glad that I just sat here staring out the window, watching. I mean, I now know that my cuttings probably need to go somewhere else because the sparrows are enjoying them far too much, but then maybe they need to. Maybe I'll leave them there for the sparrows to enjoy and I'll plant some different ones somewhere else. But yeah, I never ever plant anything in the ground thinking, well, I'm planting this but it's going to die, or I'm planting this but it won't work and it's not going to grow. I always plant it with the knowledge and the mindset. Not even the knowledge, because maybe it's something new that I haven't had in the garden before, but I always plant it with the mindset of, this is going to be amazing. This is going to look great in this part of the garden. It's going to grow really strong and tall, and it's going to look beautiful. And I'm going to be able to walk around my garden looking at it thinking, oh, I'm so pleased that I planted that. I have never, ever left a garden centre with a plant thinking, Well, that was a waste of a tenner because actually I'm going to plant it in my garden. It's going to die. I have never thought that. So why would I do that to myself? Why would I get up on a Monday morning and think, well, there's absolutely no point in moving my body. There's no point in drinking water or eating well because it's just not going to work and it's a waste of my time. Why would I do that to myself? I absolutely would not. I know, because I have practiced, because I have the knowledge, because I have the experience, because I have the proof, I know that if I just practice every day those basic things that my body needs, that I am going to feel amazing. And that's what I want for you too. So it's quite a short podcast today, but I really hope that helped. And as always, if you want to come over to Instagram and have a conversation with me about the podcast you just listened to, please do. I love talking to you. I love knowing that these are helpful or inspirational. Go and use the tools that I share so that you can live in a life of wellness with bundles of energy as well. Because life is too short to be sitting down. We all want to be out there enjoying. So thank you so much for listening. And have a great week. And I will speak to you very soon.